Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a challenge that, let's be honest, every single one of us has faced. How do you take a genuinely brilliant idea from just a spark in your mind to something that's actually, done? Let's walk through that path together.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You get that flash of inspiration, you make a big decision, you kick off a new project with all this energy, and then crickets. Weeks go by, and that amazing idea is still just an idea. It's incredibly frustrating, but the good news is there's a clear way to fix it.
And right here, this is the absolute heart of the issue. See, a decision is just one single moment in time. It's like the starting gun at a race, but it is not the finish line. The real work, and honestly, the real magic, happens in the follow-through, in the structured execution that actually brings that idea to life.
So, where do we even begin? Well, it all starts with making the right choice. And not just any choice, but one you can actually stand behind. Think of this first step as creating the blueprint for your entire project, making sure you're building on solid ground from day one. Before you get totally lost in the weeds, it's so powerful to just start simply. Lay out your main options, just like this, side by side. Compare them on the things that really matter: cost, time, tools you'll need. Just seeing it all laid out visually can bring this incredible clarity to a really tough choice. Now, for those bigger, more complex decisions, we're going to need a more structured approach. A scoring matrix like this one, it forces you to be objective. Instead of just rolling with a gut feeling, you're systematically rating each option against critical stuff like its potential impact and, whether it's even feasible. The goal isn't to find some mythical perfect solution, but to find the strongest one, backed up by clear logic. Okay, so you've done the hard work. You've analyzed your options and you've made the call. That's fantastic. But a destination is pretty useless without a map to guide you, right? So, how do we draw that map?
Well, if the decision was our blueprint, then the action plan is the framework we're going to build with it. This is the crucial part where we shift from the what we're going to do to the how we're actually going to do it. We're creating the step-by-step guide to get from A to B.
So what really is an action plan? Think of it as the bridge that connects a huge, overwhelming goal to the small, concrete tasks you need to do to get there. It's all about breaking down that massive mountain into a series of small, totally achievable steps.
A really solid action plan stands on 4 pillars. First, you've got your milestones. These are the major achievements along the way. Second, you break those down into specific tasks. Third, you give every single task a deadline. And fourth, and listen, this one is absolutely critical, ownership. Every single task needs a person who is responsible for it. There's real power in that. When someone sees their name next to a task, it stops being abstract. It becomes a personal commitment. Accountability is built right in.
And let's not underestimate the psychological power of this. Staring at a huge, messy goal can be totally paralyzing. An action plan takes all that chaos and creates order. It transforms this overwhelming project into a nice, neat sequence of manageable, concrete steps you can actually tackle.
So, you've got the blueprint, you've built the framework, but a car, no matter how well built, isn't going anywhere without fuel in the tank. So how do we power this plan and actually get it moving?
This brings us to our final big stage, fueling the plan. Because let's be real, the best plan in the world is just going to stall on the starting line if it doesn't have the right resources. This is all about smart, realistic allocation. It's so easy to hear the word resources and immediately just think of money. But as you can see here, it is a much bigger picture. Yeah, the budget is critical, of course, but so are your people, their time, and the tech they need to do their jobs. If you underallocate in any one of these areas, it can sink the entire project.
So as you plan, really think about your resources in 4 key buckets. You've got your financial capital, that's the budget. You have human capital, the right people with the right skills. Then there's physical capital, the equipment and tools. And finally, time. That's the one resource you can never, ever get back, and you need to budget it just as carefully as you budget your money.
All right, let's tie this all together. We've walked the path from making a simple choice to building a detailed plan, all the way to a fully resourced project. That right there, that's the journey from an idea floating around in your head to a real-world outcome.
I really want to leave you with this core idea. We love to celebrate that aha moment, the big decision. But lasting success isn't really found there. It's forged in the less glamorous, day-to-day discipline of just getting it done.
It all boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful formula: A sound decision, plus a clear plan, plus the right resources, that equals a successful outcome. If you ever have a project that's struggling, come back to this equation. Which piece is missing? If you get these 3 things right, you're building a clear path to success.
So my final question for you is this. What's that one idea or decision that's been sitting on a shelf? Using this framework we've talked about, what's the first thing you're going to take all the way from decision to done?